Friday, March 7th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. Sorry, I'm starting very late this morning at 11:06 California time. Normally it's a little more than an hour earlier than this. So it's going to be a short, sweet one. Get to the point. New lows in the stock market indexes. I love it. You know I was talking about this. Sorry, got to make sure I got all the data showing. Weeks ago, came down to support, tried to hold for only a day or so, made new lows, new low closes yesterday. Today we made new lows again. We are now already approximately 50% to its minimum downside objective, which is 54.44, yeah, give or take a little. And I think it may be within a few weeks. Then I expect the bull market to continue longer term after that. I'm not telling you that this is the beginning of a bear market. I do not believe that. I just believe it's a very substantial technical correction in the longer term bull market. I do have some people telling me that, Stan, are you aware that the market is approaching or did break a little bit the 200-day Dow theorist long-term moving average, investor moving average? That could very well be true. I just don't use the 200-day moving average. It's much, much, much too slow for stuff that I'm doing. For a long-term investor, maybe it's useful, but I don't pay attention to it at all. But, you know, the news station CNBC have been on 3 times. We'll probably mention it because it's important to longer-term investors. What are we doing? We're simply a little higher on the day momentarily. I am looking for, now that we're oversold again, another very minor, very short-lived bounce in the stock market indexes overall. But I'm not trusting much. I've said that before in the last week, almost every day. This market's pretty heavy. The average true range is expanding. The ATR volatility is expanding. These features are indicative of a market that may be approaching a low or a bottom, but we're not quite there quite yet. And I'm not at my objective, which I hope to get to, 54.44 or so. 54.50 works. 1 minute chart doesn't help me much. Even if it makes a new high this morning, the E-mini needs to get above yesterday's high in order to have any kind of a major reversal and cause me to be friendly to mildly bullish for a week. But that's not happening. I'm not that way. I would not be interested in going short down here. I would be interested in locking in profits, lowering my buy stops, watching for buy signals that haven't happened yet, but that kind of thing. So 1 minute doesn't help me. Still bearish. Basically the same identical commentary for the SPY, and here's the 1 minute. Now the QQQ is also extremely similar, oversold, but also in a support area and bouncing back to a little higher on the day at the moment. And we just might see a stronger close today, but I don't think we're going to get above yesterday's high. That would be totally different. That would be a blatant, outright buy signal, flat out. And maybe the bottom for a long time to come. But we don't have that. Next, we got the 1 minute QQQ. Nothing new here. We got the NASDAQ. New lows, again, substantially, slightly higher in the day, momentarily. Again, it's got to have a huge reversal. We are oversold for every single day for about 2 weeks now, and it hasn't turned around. It's only a warning that you're probably soon and probably close in price going to turn around, so you wait for the final indication that it just happened or is in the process of happening, depending upon your time frames and stuff. Next chart is the 1 minute NASDAQ. Nothing particularly bullish here. If we start making new highs for the day, then I might say it'll rally 1 or 2 days, a modest amount. YM, new lows, but never has had a double top downside breakout. Those other indexes I just talked to you about and showed you have broken out and are on the way, probably half or more the distance to its objective. Here in the YM, the Dow, we haven't even broken out yet. We're getting closer, and not even oversold today or yesterday. So it's holding up a lot better at the moment. But I do expect it to break out, and I'm still looking for the downside objective of 38,300 to be reached. Nothing on the 1 minute chart at the moment that looks particularly bullish. Oh, a little bit of resistance right here. It's very minor. 1 minute chart, very short term. Russell coming down, new lows. Oh, deserves a bounce. Just might be starting something today, but again, no signal yet. I do like the oversold. I do like a new low. And if I'm looking for a bounce, I do like the fact that it's higher on the day somewhat, but it's not good enough. Let's go to the 1 minute Russell. Nothing there. Bonds are now lower on the day by 15 ticks. They were up earlier. This is now the third day after I started drawing in my neckline and a pivot point, and I am predicting a low on or around March 13th. I am predicting the price to be on exactly or close to 115.11. Excuse me, which is in the middle of this green circle. That's why it's there. If I get anything in the green circle or even close to it, I will be able to justify a turn back up. A last shoulder low on a head and shoulder bottom has started to form back in November, and much more. But I'll leave it at that. 10-year notes are almost exactly the same. Neckline slants up a little bit instead of down, a little bit like bonds. I just haven't drawn in the arch marks or tried to pinpoint the day yet. Next, crude. Oversold, trying to bottom out, little rally, trying to hold this bull trend line that's very faint. It's an extra trend line. It came close to support, close to a more important trend line, and it looks like it's trying to turn, but that's the best I can say for crude. Oversold, holding support. Yeah, if it's going to rally back up to 70 and a half, maybe to 73 and a half. Next chart. Heating oil has an outside trading range. This is a bearish engulfing. One problem is not oversold, so I can't get a bullish engulfing ER buy signal that will turn green. So I need oversold to do that. It's close, but not there. I think it's trying to turn. Next, turn up. Natural gas, overbought. At resistance, stopping. Starting to make minor new lows for a few days, but a little higher on the day right now. Not super convinced, but I think that it's trying to roll over and turn down. If true, it's going to come down again to 3.7 and a half-ish, and maybe lower two different levels on the way down. More bearish, minor bearish. Long term, definitely neutral to bullish long term, meaning a few weeks from now and more. Gold, trying to top out. Not very sure about the opinion here on silver and gold, unless I find something new in silver today. But gold, almost a doji. Can't get through this little resistance area. Today's the fourth day trying. If you start to make new lows below 28.50, then we're probably going to come down a chunk more, but not necessarily being a bear market starting. I don't see that. I just see more of a downside correction. Same thing goes for silver. Almost exactly. Copper. Copper also starting to slip. Could come down a modest amount, at least to the lows of 937. And it's plausible that it could come down to 907. Major support. Okay, what about copper? Wait a minute, that was platinum. I'm sorry, got the symbol wrong. Platinum. Whatever I said about platinum, not copper. Here's copper. Resistance stopped the rally. A little bit of a dip today. Looks like we're starting to come down to test 4.5 again. Maybe even a little bit more. Didn't get overbought. Didn't have a sell signal. All it did was touch resistance and slip a little today. So it's quite possible to slip a little bit more. Can't get real bearish. I can't get real bullish either. Kind of between a rock and a hard spot. Now we're going to go with grains. We are starting to see the market come up some. I do have some hope here that that low that we just had earlier in the week, looks like Tuesday, might be a profound longer-term low. Unfortunately, all I got was oversold. I didn't get a bullish engulfing, didn't get a signal like this one over here. on August 26th. It was real good. So I think the grain group as a whole is bottoming out. I want more evidence to be more precise, more sure, more to talk about. All I've got right now is oversold conditions and test of support and a little bit of a turn up. Oh, hey, we got a bullish new engulfing buy signal today in soybean oil. All right. I didn't see this until just now. I was very busy this morning with other things. All right, this is an official outright buy signal on soybean oil as long as it closes higher than yesterday's close. It is a bullish engulfing outside up day in a support area and in oversold conditions within the last few days, including today. This is a really good looking signal as of now. I'm bullish on soybean oil. I think this formation is now gaining all of a sudden some more evidence that we could rally all the way up to 48.55, at least break above what I think is a head and shoulder bottom neckline, which would be around, I don't know, 51.5. And this would be a few weeks from now to get up that high, I'm expecting. But this buy signal, if it works correctly, is the beginning of a strong rally. I expect, I hope, I think, no guarantees. They don't always work out the way you like. Next, Doji inside trading day meal, couple ticks lower. Minor short-term double bottom, longer-term triple bottom, major support, oversold conditions caused me to believe it's going to bounce. It did bounce for a couple days. Today it's resting with a doji, looking for somewhat new highs. Got to prove itself. Got to close soon above 330. And then we have something a lot more to talk about longer term. Right now, let's just get up to 320, 330. Next, oversold, bounce off support. Okay, not perfectly, not real great. Bounced up for a couple of days. I'm liking the corn market a little bit better than a few days ago. But I did say it was going to bottom out soon and maybe around those prices. Same commentary for wheat, which actually made new lows for the whole trend for years. But oversold conditions and a failure to have downside follow through caused me to start talking about the upside, and I am, and I think it's going to rally, hopefully back up to 621. If it gets above 622, then we got a lot more to talk about longer term. What about cattle? Well, what the hell can I say? This is the buy signal, oversold conditions, bullish engulfing on the low day, March 4th, Tuesday. Wednesday up, yesterday down slightly, and today up again substantially. I love it. This signal has worked, past tense, very well. Now the question is, will it end up doing even better? And I think so. I think we're going to challenge the highs we've seen so far at 207 and then higher. Next, hogs. Oversold support, starting the rally, looking good, getting a little above resistance, which is good. I'm still friendly, looking for a move up to maybe close this old gap around 93. What about the E-mini? We're going back to the beginning. Getting a little stronger here. 1 minute chart made new highs while I was yakking away for a couple hours. Again, if it gets up some more, makes new highs for the day, closes, let's say 4 or 5 points higher or more, you might have something going for a few days on the upside. I don't trust them at this point. That's it for today. You guys have a great weekend and profitable trading to you.